Hey guys, I've been meaning to do this review of my Rep Fitness adjustable bench. I bought this from a friend secondhand a couple months ago and I've been using it ever since, and I just want to share my thoughts with you on what I think about this specific bench. Alright, so the first thing, let's talk about the price. So this bench right now retails for about $269 on repfitness.com. And after shipping, you're looking at about $300. And so for a fully adjustable bench that provides you decline positions, flat and incline, I think this is really great value for your money. Some of the competitors right now, like Rogue Fitness, they don't even have a full FID bench, if I remember correctly. I think they only have an incline bench, but you're looking at about $500 to $800 depending on which model you buy. If you go to French Sports, I believe they have something comparable at about $400. You can also look at Titan Fitness, and they have something that's a little bit cheaper, but people have a lot of strong opinions on Titan Fitness, whether they're too cheap or it's a good value for your money. Second thing I want to talk about is the build quality. So overall, everything looks and feels great. It feels sturdy. This thing weighs about 90 pounds and it can hold up, I think, about 1,000 pounds of weight, which is definitely more than what I need for my home gym. And I would suspect that most people likely won't get past that point. If you are, you're likely looking at different type of equipment. So I would say for home use, this is definitely, I would consider an upgrade. One of the features that I really like about the bench is the handle and the wheels. It makes it pretty easy to just kind of pick up and move around. I will say it does take up a lot of floor space, especially if you have a very small home gym like I do. Having to store this flat on the floor, it does take up a good amount of space. So keep that in consideration when you're thinking about purchasing this bench. I really do enjoy the steel ladder on this bench. As you transition from position from a decline to flat or incline position, there's a very satisfying sound that comes from the steel hitting the steel. It makes it feel like it's really good quality material, so I really enjoy that. The locking mechanism at the very bottom makes it pretty easy to pull in and out, so you can move and adjust the front padding to your choosing. The padding on this bench, I would say, is overall very good. Although I would say when I compare it to my Rogue Fitness flat bench, I feel like the Rogue feels a lot more denser. This one feels a little bit softer. It's noticeable, but it doesn't bother me, so just something to consider. For me, I really enjoy using the adjustable bench because it gives you a lot of different options for your workouts. You can do stuff with dumbbells, with body weight, with even barbells. I primarily use the decline position for like sit-ups and things like that. I don't really use it with the barbell. But once I get my adjustable dumbbells, maybe I'll start using it then more often. So I just think overall having an adjustable bench just opens up the amount of functionality that you can do for your workouts. Especially, a Rogue Fitness flat bench is about 100 or 150, and you're looking at about double the price. And for double the price, I think the functionality that you get from it is definitely worth it. So I would highly suggest getting an adjustable bench if you're trying to either upgrade to a new bench, or if you're just starting from scratch, I would definitely consider spending a bit more extra cash on getting the adjustable bench because it does open up your workouts. So some of the things that I wish they would improve on, and one of which they actually already did, the material on the padding is a little slippery for my preference, but I believe that Rep Fitness has actually upgraded this material. Their newer model, they actually advertise it with new grippier material. I haven't tested that out myself, but I would imagine that it's better than this, and any improvement I think would have made a pretty good, significant difference. There's no rubber protection on the legs of this bench. And so luckily I have horse stall mats, but in parts where I don't have any protection, I'm obviously very, very careful because depending on the angle, you might scratch up either your epoxy or whatever your flooring might look like. So that's one thing I hope that they do upgrade in the future, is having some kind of protection, some kind of rubber protection on both the top and the bottom. The other thing that kind of gets annoying sometimes is the gap between the big pad and the small pad. It's more noticeable when it's a flat bench. It doesn't really bother me, but it's something that I'm aware of at times. The Rec Fitness does have other higher options. I think it's called the zero gap. And that one actually slides into position so you don't have any gap whatsoever. But again, for the price point, I think it's totally worth it. It doesn't bother me at all, so it works. The other thing I would mention is that I would say overall it's fairly stable, but if you were to kind of move it around from side to side, it does kind of sway just a little bit. The only reason I bring this up is because I actually use my Rogue Fitness flat bench for box jumps and box squats. And so that one is very sturdy enough where I can do that kind of stuff. And yes, I could probably jump on it fine, but if you're in the middle of a workout and you're kind of exhausted, I think that little bit of sway makes me uncomfortable to jump on top of it. But I will say that that's not really the purpose of these benches, so I won't hold it against it. I'm just saying if you do use your bench for that purpose like I do with my flat bench, then something to consider. But again, it's not really that big of a deal. All right, so that's gonna do it for this review. Overall, I'm very happy with the purchase. I think having an adjustable bench really opens up your workouts, especially at home. If you have adjustable dumbbells or barbells, or even if you wanna do some body weights, things of that nature, I think it's a great addition for any home gym. And I think for the price point, this is really hard to beat. So if you can find it secondhand, definitely do that. But if you want to buy a brand new, it's only about $300 total. So definitely consider Rec Fitness if you're in the market for an adjustable bench.